to come into line ahead of this maiden over obstacles before we have a bumper. That's our last race, and they're off. Away and racing they go for race number 6, our final race over obstacles here at Garthorpe this afternoon. On the inside, Tom Creen together with Tango Pete will be 1 and 2 up and over fence number 1. They're all over it safely enough as they now move on to number 2. They're not going very quick at all here. Tom Creen at the inside, white with the blue chevrons. Tango Pete, the colour change, blue and white checks. On the inside, Albert Hucklebuck, who's been driven into that one, came up quite well. Gold cap of Argenteratum is right along the inside with High Street in the brown and white hoops. Charlie Marshall on the near side in those blue blinkers, and up in between them, No Promises. 2 waves of 3 moving in front of us with 2 circuits to go. Tom Creen jumps the path, and now they take the open ditch. Tom Creen up and over. Tango Pete made a right mess of it, was out jumped by High Street to the outside. He went by that runner on the flat, turning right-handed now then to head on up the hill, and Argenteratum is moving a bit closer right around the inside, so still none of them want to really get on with it, as Argenteratum on the inside now has just come through to head them off. So Argenteratum, who sat just about last over the first, is now in front, turning right-handed and off down the far side. From Tom Creen in second, Albert Hucklebuck is a close-up third for Freddie Gordon. 10 from 25 Freddie is so far in point-to-points. Not too shabby a strike rate, is it? On the inside, Tango Pete in the blue and white. High Street wide out. No Promises the back marker for Immy Robinson, taking the first in the back, where High Street out-jumped Albert Hucklebuck to go an outright third. Heading up and over the middle one in the back now, Argenteratum up and over. Tango Pete took a bit of a liberty, it was okay, as they come towards the final fence now in the back straight before a long run. Argenteratum up and over, and again Tango Pete was untidy, and Luke Scott has to administer a reminder or two to get that runner back with the main crux of the field, as they now head towards the end of the back, and he's still working hard as they head on this run towards the end of the back. He's back on the bridle now though, as they turn right-handed out of the back straight, still on this relatively long run to the fence on the side, coming back towards us. Argenteratum out in front then here for Connor Gray, who has had 8 rides so far, all of them on this horse without success. Heading down towards this next fence with a break of 3 lengths on the field. To Tom Creen, just about holding second, with High Street to the outside in the blue blinkers. Albert Hucklebuck more towards the inside. No Promises has passed 1. That's the non-too fluent Tango Pete, as they turn right-handed and they've completed the circuit. They now come up the home straight once again. Argenteratum in the dark blue with the gold cap has a lead of 3 lengths on Tom Creen on the inner, who made a mistake. Out wider High Street in the brown and white hoops, and on the inside Albert Hucklebuck in the pale pink and white colours. No Promises has travelled quite nicely, black with the red cap, just taking a bit closer order. Tango Pete out wide. That'll be the last next time around. High Street's turn to make a mistake that time around, and Tango Pete is off the bridle again, and a couple more reminders from Luke Scott to try and keep him interested down the wide outside. And also Albert Hucklebuck now coming under some pressure, has just about dropped to last. Circuit left to go then in the maiden, and Argenteratum was bowled over the open ditch to say the least, but he led over by 3 lengths to Tom Creen in second. High Street is third up around the outer, turning right-handed and up the side of the course. No Promises is fourth, with Tango Pete around that one's outside, and Albert Hucklebuck has dropped back to the rear. Coming up and over the next, and the latter named horse is struggling a little bit at the moment for Freddie Gordon, is detached by a few lengths and off the bridle as Tango Pete receives yet another reminder, continues to be driven along by Luke Scott. Heading off down the far side, Argenteratum leads now by just over a length as Tom Creen closes up in second place for Tom Broughton, now goes back to the front as Tom Creen, so a change in the lead. Tom Creen goes on from Argenteratum, who's been out out jumped by High Street, who now goes second. On the inside, No Promises, Imi Robinson still going okay. Albert Hucklebuck has picked up the bridle again, he's starting to improve. They share a third with that runner as Argenta Artem stops quickly, and Tango Pete's not really having it at the moment as they take 4 from home. Tom Creen good over that. Albert Hucklebuck made a serious mistake. Freddie Gordon right up the horse's neck. He did well to sit that as they head on this long run back towards 3 from home. As they do so, Tom Creen has the lead here by just over a length to High Street on the outside. No Promises in the red cap has always gone pretty nicely. Just in behind them in third place. Albert Hucklebuck is back in fourth now, looks quite laboured again, and the other pair are being pulled up. Argenta Artem still just about going at the moment. Tango Pete's has definitely called it today, has stopped to a walk. Heading towards the end of the back straight now, they come down the side, and No Promises and Tom Creen now try and get away from High Street in third. Tom Creen jumped that in particular nicely, leads up by just over a length to No Promises. High Street trying to box on in the blinkers as Argenta Artem has indeed been pulled up before 3 from home. Albert Hucklebuck is back in fourth. All 4 of them hard at work now. Tom Creen and No Promises near enough together, heading towards the second last. Far side Tom Creen with a narrow lead from No Promises on the near side. High Street has a break of 6 lengths behind the pair of them. Then Albert Hucklebuck, who's struggling. Tom Creen in front here. No Promises not finding much. Tom Creen at the last needs a good one and in very close, and allowed No Promises to have a chance on this near side. Tom Creen punched out here by Tom Broughton. No Promises on the near side trying really hard, but Tom Creen is going to go one better than our last meeting and goes on to score for Tom Broughton. Beat No Promises into second place. High Street was third. Albert Hucklebuck was last of 4 to complete.